Isn't that beautiful? Just great. Hey, thanks for stopping by. My name is Ken, and I'm on a journey to lose as much weight as I possibly can so I could become a fat guy no more. Well, before I jump into week 25, I want to invite you to hit that subscribe button if you already haven't. If you have, I appreciate you as always, and thank you all for coming by and checking out my channel. Thank you so much. All right, so week 25. Week 25 was an interesting one. I decided to bypass my shot on that Friday. I had already gone 2 weeks, and I know that I'd only lost 1 pound the previous week, but I wanted to see what would happen if I stretched it to a 3rd week. Again, trying to save a little bit of money and see how far I can stretch a box. So that's what I did. I didn't take it that Friday. And then Saturday, I got up. I was up a couple pounds. No big deal. I had decided to try to shock my system a little bit, so I upped my calories just a little bit. And then Sunday morning when I got up, I found myself up 7 pounds. 7 pounds from where I was Friday morning when I weighed in. And that kind of ticked me off, to be honest with you. There's no rhyme or reason. It wasn't like I drank a whole lot and had a bunch of sodium. Something was happening. So that was day 16 then after my previous shot. So I decided probably around noon, a little after, that I was going to go ahead and take a shot of 7.5. And that's what I did. And I crossed my fingers and hoped it turned out good. That next day on Monday, I had a doctor's appointment with the hand specialist, the same one I've been going to about my wrists and elbows and everything. She was finally going to tell me what the other doctor who did the nerve conduction test had already told me. But I fully expected her to be telling me that she was going to have to slice and dice, and that's exactly what she did. So how she put it to me was, there is some wicked damage in there. Honestly, with my left arm and wrist, she was really surprised that I hadn't been complaining of a lot more pain based on what she was seeing with that nerve conduction test. I let her know that I'm not somebody that just wants pain pills thrown at me. I want it fixed. So what do we do? So she said that we'll have to schedule the surgery, and that's exactly what we did. So it's coming up in 9 weeks. I have to wait 9 weeks to have that surgery, which is kind of a blessing and a curse, I suppose, because that's 9 weeks of getting to sit around thinking about getting put out, put under, going under the knife, whatever you want to say. And that honestly kind of scares the bejesus out of me. I've done everything that I could to avoid having to do surgery. Case in point, going on Mounjaro instead of doing like a VSG surgery. Now again, I don't want that to sound like I'm saying that that's a bad thing. It's just not what I wanted for me. I don't like the thought of, being put out and then not waking up again. So, just being honest, as always, this surgery scares the ever-loving bejesus out of me. And the best part about it, once we're done with this one and it heals, we get to do this one. So I've got 2 coming up. So not only the wrist for carpal tunnel, but the elbows for ulnar nerve surgery on both sides. Isn't that beautiful? Just great. Got that to look forward to. So the first one is towards the end of April, and then they'll let me heal for a little bit and schedule the one for the right side, and then we'll get to do it. And at this point, I'm hoping to be back to work by early June, maybe mid-June. I just want it done and get back and have no pain. You know what I'm saying? So that was an interesting Monday afternoon. I did find myself leaving her office and I drove by, fast food row, plus a whole lot of other restaurants out that way. Chick-fil-A, Burger King, Taco Bell. There's a Buffalo Wild Wings out there. There's all sorts of other things. And in the past, I would have been all over it. I would have found me the nearest Taco Bell, and I would have grabbed me a bag and sat in the parking lot and probably devoured it in tears, to be honest. And this time I didn't. I had to do a couple other things. I did stop at Sonic, got me a diet cherry limeade because, that's just what I do when I'm out like that. So, but nothing else. And so that's a non-scale victory if there ever was one, I suppose, under the circumstances. That Thursday found me going to get my new leg brace. Again, if you watched my last video, I mentioned how I've been putting all my eggs into that basket to hope and pray that it helps me be able to walk better, to be able to do more. And I got it. And yeah. It's kind of funky. It fits weird, honestly. It's the same style as my one on my left leg, but they cut it around the back of the leg a little differently. It's kind of got this little dip, so the way my overgrown leg fits in there is a little different. So it doesn't feel like I have the complete total support like I have on the left one, which I don't know. Maybe it's just me looking for things, but it's definitely tighter. I could definitely feel that it has the pressure on the ankle and the foot. In the few days that I've worn it since then, I can say that it's definitely more supportive, and I haven't had the pain in that foot that I did with my old brace, which, again, that's not saying that the design is that much better. That old brace I got at least 8 years ago, let's say. And so then with all the weight that I've lost, it's just become so loose that it just wasn't able to do what it was supposed to. But this new one is supposed to be even better. So just the design of it. So I'm hopeful, very hopeful, that it's going to do for me what I need it to, and it'll be great. And we'll see. Again, like I mentioned before, I know there's going to be an adjustment period. I just got to get used to it, and then we'll be able to see here in a couple weeks how it goes. So let's take a look at the numbers. Well, this week, told you I was going to go up a little bit in calories just to see what it would do. Ended up going up a little higher than I wanted to. Came in with an average of 1,500 per day. 1,500 even, kind of weird, but yeah, 1,500 per day. Yeah, that's the highest I've been in a long time. That gave me an average of 128 grams of protein per day and an average of 45 grams of fiber. Good to see that back up after last week's dip. My sodium was also up, but down over the previous week slightly at 1,431 milligrams. And my potassium was looking spectacular at 3,914. So what did that do for me on the scale? Well, nothing. I tossed a goose egg. Absolutely nothing. So, I don't know what's up. I could say the last 2 weeks I've had definitely different weeks. The only thing that was really close was the sodium. 1 week I lost 1 last week, and then this week 0. And so I don't really know what's going on, and that's even with taking that shot on Sunday. So as I mentioned in my last video, maybe going back to 7.5 was a mistake. I mean, it was the only thing I could find at the time, so I kind of had to, or just completely stop. But I can say that as of 2 days ago, I secured a box of 10 milligram, and I will be taking my first shot of that today. Absolutely. So I'm really hopeful that next week we have a completely different set of numbers to look at, something more exciting. But that's just how it goes. I don't really think I could change a whole lot. But I'm gonna go back, calorie wise at least, go back down to what I had been averaging, or close to it, and take that 10 milligram shot, and we'll see what happens with it, because a week of 0 and a week of 1 just isn't cutting it, especially when you're paying full price. Again, all I can do is keep moving forward, and I know that, and I know that what I'm doing is right. I know that what I'm eating is good for my body, and I'm just going to keep doing it, and hopefully soon, sooner the better, the scale will catch up with me. All right, so thank you for stopping by and watching this week's video. I really appreciate it. I really do. You're keeping me going, so thank you so much. Thank you. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow me on my journey to become a fat guy no more, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video.